In his endless wandering, Ahriman, the Master Sorcerer, happens upon the mysterious Genestealer Gauntlet. Crackling with magical and warp energy, he faces the Genestealers emerging from the darkness, desperate for the knowledge this place holds. The Psyker and the monsters now stand face to face as both prepare to do battle, and we look forward to another episode of the Genestealer Gauntlet. Each competitor will face endless waves of Genestealers with only their raw stats and abilities as well as their faction rule. No enhancements, no stratagems, and no detachment abilities. Today's challenger is Ahriman, equipped with the Black Staff of Ahriman, an Inferno Bolt Pistol, and the Transmogrifying Blast. His abilities won't be super useful, but he can potentially dish out lots of attacks, and something like the Doom Bolt or Destiny's Ruin from the faction ability could help him out greatly. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and thank you for your continued support. Also check out the Patreon and Discord in the video description, and let's begin. Ahriman rises high on his disc of Tzeentch and concentrates his psychic energies. The warp opens up and a Doom Bolt arcs out, striking at the heart of the Genestealers. A 3 means that 2 mortal wounds are dished out and 1 Genestealer vanishes in the smoke. Ahriman immediately follows this up with a Transmogrifying Blast as the Genestealers are regrouping from the previous assault. The blast cannons out of Ahriman's extended palm and burns loudly through the air, hitting the Genestealers 4 times. 2 Genestealers are caught up in the deadly fire and perish in the flames. The last Genestealers know they have to make a move in order to survive, but Ahriman is on them quickly, blocking their movements with more fire. The Black Staff of Ahriman hits hard as the Genestealers can feel the dark power emanating from deep within. 4 hits, 3 wounds, and 1 save. The Genestealers are flattened by Ahriman, who learns more and more with every passing second. Doombolt's previous success inspires further usage, and Ahriman opens the warp once again. This time, the rift pulses with exponential energy and crackles a Doombolt out with increased power. A 12 on the psychic test and a 5 for the wounds ensures that 6 mortal wounds land on the Genestealers. The Doombolt evaporates 3 of the Xenos in a cacophony of noise and lights, and silence lingers in the aftermath. Desperate to fill the silence with more chaos, Ahriman hurls another blast at the Genestealers, killing off another and filling the room with even more heat and smoke. And Ahriman permeates that smoke with his giant disc, floating around the back of the Genestealer and raising his staff up high. The staff drops with a heavy hand and smashes the last Genestealer into many different pieces, which Ahriman proceeds to burn. The sorcerer is intense in his learnings, and the Genestealers may not survive for much longer. The warp's energies are quieter this round, only allowing Destiny's Ruin to be cast, which will help with accuracy at least. However, this doesn't help with the Transmogrifying Blast, as only 4 of the Genestealers are hit by the flames. 2 wounds and 1 save means that only 1 Genestealer dies. A weak round of shooting, really. Spurred on by Destiny's Ruin though, Ahriman floats into the middle of the Genestealers, ready to strike. Ahriman unleashes a cataclysmic giant swing of his staff and hits all of the Genestealers. 4 wounds dealt out and no saves. The damage is too great to resist, and the 4 Genestealers succumb to Tzeentch's magic of change. The Tyranids are about to turn up the heat in this gauntlet to match Ahriman's volcanic output. The warp must sense the additional enemies and crackles into life once again. Another Doombolt flies out wildly and removes a Genestealer from existence. But things look a little more desperate this time as the horde swells, and reducing them by only 1 doesn't seem like enough. Regardless, Ahriman fires another Transmogrifying Blast into the group, hoping to cull the numbers. This isn't as successful as he'd hope, and from the 7 Genestealers hit by the blaze, only 2 of them are burned away. A last chance to cause some real damage, Ahriman flies into a position he thinks is the most optimal. 5 hits, 3 wounds, and no save. Ahriman hits hard and tears apart 3 Genestealers in the name of gaining knowledge. 4 Genestealers stare up at him, and now they're able to make some strikes of their own. The screeching fills the gauntlet with a terrible noise as 16 claws lash out at the Thousand Sun sorcerer and cause 6 wounds. The magic of Ahriman only manages to prevent 2 of these, and so Ahriman drops to 2 wounds remaining. Another attack like that, and this run is over. The Genestealers line up again and deal out 16 more attacks. This time 7 wounds land, and of those 7 wounds, only 4 are saved. Ahriman dies and is sucked back into the warp by Tzeentch itself. Before this happens though, Ahriman lashes out, desperate to finish the remaining Genestealers before he falls. 3 wounds and no saves means that 3 Genestealers die and only 1 is left standing. Colours fly through the air as the Great Sorcerer is defeated, but he's satisfied that the kills made today will further his knowledge and help achieve the reversal of the rubric. Ahriman has killed 54 Genestealers, the Sorcerer Supreme doing a bang-up job today. And where does that place him on the leaderboard? Around the middle of the pack and above some great models. Don't forget to like and subscribe and keep suggesting those models. Please also check out the Discord and Patreon in the video description, and we'll see you next time.